NBC Sports puts all the pieces together, blending a tradition rich in memories with innovation and the latest in television technology. Great moments come alive on NBC Sports. Last night, the Astros scored early en route to their 4-2 victory and stopped their 5-game losing streak. The big story for the Astros, Bob Knepper pitched a masterpiece in frustrating the first-place Mets, so the Mets dropped to 5.5 in front as they hope to get even with the Astros today at the Astrodome. NBC Sports presents Major League Baseball, an inside look brought to you by the Miller Brewing Company, sole sponsor of the U.S. Olympic Training Centers, and by the Century 21 System, largest real estate sales organization in America. The crowd is filing into the Astrodome in Houston, Texas, and we're getting set for Game 2 of the 3-game series between the Mets and the Astros. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Marv Albert. Welcome to the start of our baseball day here on NBC. The pitching matchup for the Mets, Sid Fernandez. He has a record of 5-6. He comes off last Sunday's 5-0 2-hit shutout of the Astros in New York. And for the Astros, baseball's all-time strikeout leader, Nolan Ryan, who, following a slow start, has dropped to 5-7. He's lost his last 5. The Astros not providing much support, but Nolan admits he's having some problems.
I think I went through a spell where I wasn't throwing the ball well. I lost my curveball, and I started getting behind the count, and I had to throw my fastball more. And I think pitching in the count down, I think it makes quite a difference as far as the hitters are concerned. And then also, I think a lot of it, too, is the fact that as a ball club, we're in a slump.
The ageless wonder, 41-year-old Nolan Ryan, who says that he's trying to work his way out of some mechanical difficulties, something that we in television can certainly relate to. Checking out last night's games of note, in Los Angeles prior to the Dodger-Pirate game, Tom Lasorda, the dean of Major League Managers, was given a 2-year contract extension, but Tom's first-place Dodgers lost to the Pirates 4-3. The play of the game here, Tracy Woodson of the Dodgers robbed by Darnell Coles, who lands on top of Andy Van Slyke. In San Francisco last night, Mike Lacasse allowed only 4 hits for the Giants' 3rd consecutive shutout. The Giants blanked the Cardinals 1-0. Another well-pitched game. Milt Thompson of the Phillies able to connect against Jose Rijo in the 8th for a 1-0 Phils win over the Reds. Combined 5-hitter for Don Carmen and Steve Bedrosian. In the American League, Weston leading Oakland snapped a 4-game losing streak as Dennis Eckersley wrapped it with his 26th save. The Athletics beat the Tigers 3-2. Oakland 4.5 in front. Detroit remains 3 in front of the Yankees as John Candelaria was tagged for this 3-run home run by Bo Jackson. Bo with his 11th of the season, sparking the Royals over the Yankees 4-0 All-Star. Mark Gubicza allowed only 4 hits. He's now 12-5. First time the Yanks were shut out this season. And Bud Black of Cleveland tied a Major League record by hitting 3 California batters. Jack Howell taking one in the helmet. He suffered a mild concussion, is expected to miss a couple of games, but should be all right. Moments later, Devon White, who had homered earlier, was also hit, leading to this. Catcher Andy Allenson involved, accidentally knocked over the umpire Larry Young. The Angels beat the Indians 10-6 in an ugly get-together in Cleveland. One other baseball note, the Texas Rangers have released their all-time home run leader, Larry Parrish, who hit a club record 32 homers last season, but Parrish with a batting average of only 190 thus far this year. When we come back, we'll be joined by MVP candidate and all-star right fielder Darrell Strawberry. And the Astros, and looking back at this past week in baseball, suddenly the home run has reemerged following a slow start in that department. Wednesday and Thursday, the home run happy Detroit Tigers walloped 9 homers in 2 games against the Seattle Mariners. Mike Heath with 2 of the 4 on Wednesday, 3 of the 2 games for Heath. Early in the week, Mark McGwire of Oakland broke out by coming through with game-winning home runs in the 16th inning on consecutive days. This against the Indians. And Cleveland with an angry week. Julio Franco not pleased about a called 3rd strike, then got the thumb, as did manager Doc Edwards, who was very expressive concerning his feelings, taking it out on his clipboard. this past Monday. Kansas City pulled off a rare triple play. 2 on runners going the drive by Jim Rice. Willie Wilson with a running catch. Now throws to Frank White for out number 2. On to George Brett for 3. Triple play. Another rare occurrence. Charlie Huff of Texas with 4 strikeouts in 1 inning. This pass ball cost him, allowing the Yankees Claudell Washington to reach, but Huff struck out 3 of the Yanks to retire the side. How about this oddity? Donnell Nixon of the Giants caught stealing twice in 1 inning. Caught on a pickoff play. He was safe at second on an error. Officially, he's caught stealing. Then moments later, breaking on the squeeze, he's caught trying to steal home. Only the 4th player in history to be caught stealing twice in 1 inning. And the major event this past week, a Len Dykstra lookalike contest at a New York delicatessen. The Met outfielder had his imitators, but it was 6-year-old Cody Maddox who came away with lookalike honors. And National League home run leader Darrell Strawberry has joined us. Darrell, is there a Darrell Strawberry lookalike contest on the horizon?
Well, I hope not, Marv. After last night's performance against Bob Knepper, I don't think anyone want to be a Darrell Strawberry.
He had you off stride, it appeared. You were having some problems.
Well, he had everybody off stride. You have to realize a guy like that, we faced not too long ago back in New York, and we had a great deal of success against him. And he made adjustments. See, good pitchers always make good adjustments against good ball clubs, and he made the adjustments that he had to make, and he did his job, and he did a great job.
You haven't joined some of your teammates, though, in sleeping with the bat, have you?
Well, not yet. Hopefully I don't have to get to that stage. I don't believe in those kind of things of happening, and I don't want to get to the point of making that happen where I go to bed with my bat.
You hit a monster home run this past week against the Cincinnati Reds that carried out of Shea Stadium. Was that the longest in your career?
Well, I don't think that was the longest home run in my career. I think it was a good home run for me. But, you know, as a home run hitter, you don't really be concerned of how far the ball travels. As long as the ball clears the fence and you touch home plate, it counts as a run scored and RBI.
Now, I get the feeling now that some of your strong comments that were not necessarily accepted earlier in the season, particularly in that article in Esquire, are now being accepted. After the loss to the Reds the other night, Mets had lost 2 in a row, you came out lashing out at the ball club. You said they were lethargic. Things just were not going right. Yet you're 5.5 games in front. Do you fear a letdown?
Yes, I do. I feel that we get too laid back, especially when you miss a guy like Keith Hernandez. He's such a leader to the ball club, and he don't let the ball club get down. Now that he's out, you know, somebody has to take charge. We can't, you know, just sit back and lay back on ball clubs like Cincinnati or anybody else, because everybody's out there to beat the New York Mets. And once the New York Mets realize that we're the team to beat, I think you won't take things for granted. I think we take too many things for granted, and we just go into a series and we just get dead flat. We had a great series against the Astros back home at Shea Stadium, and then Cincinnati came in. The first 2 ball games, we had no momentum going whatsoever. So I felt it was just a point for me to speak out, just to try to get the ball club going.
All right, Darrell, now last week, you welcomed a new addition to the Strawberry household, a daughter by the name of Diamond Nicole. You celebrated with a home run, and your kids have certainly brought you good luck, because on Darrell Jr.'s birthday a couple of weeks ago, you hit 2 home runs. I'm wondering, is there such an equation of, let's see, 3 kids, every 3 kids, 2 home runs? That would be, I would think, a vote against birth control.
It would have to be, and I don't think my wife would go for that, having kids all the time just to get home runs. But it's always nice to bring new births to the world, Marv, and kids are very special, and you get more excited about what you have to do when you have kids.
Darrell, very prolific in a number of situations.
Oh, yes, without a doubt.
Yes. All right, Darrell Strawberry, continued success to you. When we come back, we'll be hearing from that world-renowned movie critic, Lawrence Peter, Yogi Berra.
You know, I'm a native of Washington, D.C., and I've talked with sources close to the operation. It's a secret, off-the-shelf, self-sustaining, stand-alone entity using private funds to bring baseball back to Washington. It's being operated out of the basement of the commissioner's office using a retired general, manager, and some southpaw or northpaw. And it's been approved by the highest authority, Mookie Wilson.
Connie lashing out, taking a cheap shot at Mookie. Well, if there is such a thing as a face that does not need an introduction, here he is, Hall of Famer Yogi Berra, who, aside from his duties as a coach with the Houston Astros, because of his great interest over the years in watching movies, is now featured weekly on the nationally syndicated show Yogi at the Movies. Here's a sampling.
Coming up next, Yogi at the Movies.
The movie Big is big on laughs.
Yogi, how was Tom Hanks as a kid in a man's body?
He was a genius, the kid.
Yogi, why will people like Big?
Well, I think there's a hidden kid in all of us.
Yogi, did you know Penny Marshall directed this movie?
Who's Penny Marshall?
Remember Laverne and Shirley?
No kidding, her? She did that?
Yogi, you do have a unique style, I should point out. But even as a player with the Yankees, I can recall that you were a movie buff. What was the Yogi Berra record? Most movies in one day while you were an active player.
Well, 3 in one day, actually, because we had a place on the hill in St. Louis. We used to see 3 movies on Friday nights.
What's the best movie this year, according to Yogi at the Movies?
Well, Fatal Attraction was great. Wall Street, Big, and Wills was a very good movie, too.
Well, the Hunt movie right now is Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but you don't seem to be that pleased about it.
Well, not to me it wasn't. I don't know. My next show is going to have my rating on it.
And the rating's a single, double, triple home run. I have a feeling Roger Rabbit will not get a home run. I thought they did a great job, technically. You're not a cartoon fan?
Well, I love cartoons if it was just cartoons. But to me, it just didn't appeal to me that good.
Anybody ever get annoyed about your ratings, those who you have been critical of?
Well, not yet. Everybody says it's pretty good. And so I I go to movies. I like them. I'll say it like it is. It's all. If I like them, they're a home run. If they're not, there's a strikeout or a single, a double or a triple.
Yogi, what's your feeling about colorization?
Oh, boy.
All right. How would you, I know you'd handle it in that matter, how would you rate this show?
Oh, a home run. It's got to be.
What a guy. I'm thinking more of a balk or a pass ball.
No, this is a good show.
What a guy. Yogi at the Movies. And we are closing in on game time. The Mets and the Astros. Sid Fernandez going against Nolan Ryan. In a moment, we go to Vince Scully and Joe Garagiola for the play-by-play. I'm Marv Albert from the Astrodome in Houston. Baseball after these messages.